Alright, set 2 once again, this time with a new ride line revolving around a human and a dragon bonding together to fuse to become one. So let's begin. So first off, here's the starter baby Dragconnector. Its race is Synchro Heart Dragon. That might be important for the future, but this is going to be important starter just for its name, Andra. In which we go to his human companion, which is a grade 1 wiki power, Flame Blade Dragconnector Grai, which has a skill, Count Vanguard. If your soul has a baby Dragconnector and you would ride your Synchro Heart Dragconnector from your ride deck, ride it without discarding card from your hand. Sure, free ride, not too bad. But the second skill will actually have some use, where auto rearguard at the beginning of your battle phase, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard that is Grai, cost rest this unit, choose one of your rearguards that is Andra. Until the end of the turn, that unit can attack from the back row and it also gets plus 10k power. Yes, this one grade 1 technically unlocks an extra attack for this ride line, in which when the dragon grows up into a grade 2 with 10k power, Synchro Heart Andra, it has a skill, Count Vanguard. If your soul has Flame Blade Dragconnector Grai, you can ride the Dragconnector Graiandra from your ride deck without discarding cost, so it's basically the same as the grade 1, except it's just on the grade 2. With the second skill, Count Rearguard during your turn, if you have a unit that is Grai, this card gets plus 5k power. This rearguard skill will be quite important, especially once you hit the grade 3, which the grade 3 where 13k power is infused with his dragon, which I have to say it looks cool, Dragconnector Graiandra. It is both human and Synchro Heart Dragon, so that might be important. And the skill is Auto Vanguard. At the beginning of your main phase, cost rest this unit. Yes, you're resting the Vanguard. Choose up to one of each grade 2 or less card that is Grai and Andra from your soul and call them to rearguard. And then this card gets this ability into the end of turn. Auto Vanguard. Once per turn, at the end of battle that your rearguard Andra attacked cost, put the attacking unit and a rearguard with Grai and card name to soul, stand this unit, and all your front row units gets plus 10k power into the end of turn. Basically, the idea is you float with your grade 1 and grade 2 of the ride line. The grade 1 will rest itself to boost up the grade 2 so the grade 2 can attack, and then you will use this skill to basically just put both of them to soul to fuse them together to stand this back as your Vanguard. I have to say it's a pretty cool concept. You pretty much get 4 attacks every turn for free basically with a mass power up of the back row attacking dragon, and then once you're done with the attack back row dragon, you basically just fuse both of them back together to give this one a Vanguard attack with a mass power up to the front row. And it's also nice that the rearguard plussing is for free, but do watch out for the soul, and considering that this is also restanding Vanguard, the counter heal can counter this. And also remember, prison can also screw this up because if they go to the grade 4, they can take those souls as prisoners. But on that, I have to just say it just looks cool. Even though it's not super amazing, I just say it just looks cool. In which we go to an order card, Drag Resonance, which is a normal order that is also grade 3, and you choose one of your Vanguards and it gets this ability until the end turn. Auto Vanguard, once per turn, when this unit stands, your whole front row gets plus 10k. So on top of the Graiandra skill where it restands itself to give your whole front row plus 10k, this gives another front row plus 10k, which is 20k buff, which isn't too bad. Although with some of the stuff that you just did, I kind of wish that there was more into it, but it is kind of free since you don't actually need to pay a counterblast or soul blast or energy. In which we go to Renserate Griffin, which is a grade 1 with key power and the skill is Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks or boosts, if your Vanguard is Andra, which is also your grade 3, which counts as both Grai and Andra, this card gives 2k power into the end of the battle, and then you can cause counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less back row rearguards and retire it. One thing I really like is that this is useful in early game as well. Not saying it's amazing, but I just like it's useful in early game. In which we go to Melt Knuckle Golem, which is a grade 2 with to confirm the skills. Auto, when placed on rearguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard that is Grai, you can cost Energy Blast 3 to draw a card. Okay, and you're not even using energy so far, so this is pretty nice. But the second skill is Auto Rearguard. When your either Grai or Andra unit attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, this card gives 5k power. So it's a 15k attacker for the deck. So far, energy is a pretty free resource for the deck, so that Energy Blast or draw is just fine. Being a 15k attacker is okay, but I do see this card being replaced later on. In which we finally go to Cannonball of Dust Storm Zakis, which is a grade 3 with power and skill is Auto Front Row Rearguard. At the beginning of your battle phase, cost counterblast 1. Choose one of your units that is either Grai or Andra in the card name, and it gets plus 5k power in your turn. If you chose, you draw a card. So far, counterblast hasn't been very heavy for the deck, especially your main grade 3 doesn't even use counterblast at all. Giving the extra power to one of your units is also very helpful, which could also be the grade 1 Grai, where instead of just using its rest skill to boost up your dragon, Andra, just use Grai as the attacker instead, which can be very nice sometimes. But anyway, second skill, Auto Rearguard. When your other unit with Grai or Andra in card name attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this card gets 5k power. This is pretty guaranteed unless if you're against the prison matchup, but this is overall pretty good good because it gives you resources and extra power, and I noticed this deck has been gaining a lot of extra power. So that's it for the new Graiandra ride line. What do you guys think of it? I have to say it's a cool concept of getting a human and a dragon to bond with each other to fuse to become one and destroying your opponent. It's also a free +2 every turn, which is also pretty nice, and it's basically just a lot of power gaining, but it doesn't really do much afterwards. So in a way, I only say this ride line is just okay despite how cool it looks, and I do like the cool concept of it. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.